How can you look at your disability case from the perspective of a disability judge, and why is that important? I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney. I represent clients in all 50 states. Social Security hearings are done virtually now, so I'm not geographically limited. So if I can be of help to you, happy to do anything I can. And I want to talk to you today about a little different perspective about how to look at your disability case. And I think that you should really think about how can you look at your case from the perspective of a disability judge. You know, it's only natural. You're living with your medical issues, whatever they are, physical, mental, emotional, combination thereof. And you look at it from your perspective. You're living in your body, and you know what it's like to have a bad back. You know what it's like to have a problem, a cardiac problem. You know what it's like to have severe depression or PTSD and anxiety disorder. You know what it's like to have diabetes that's not easy to control. You know what it's like to take medications that make you loopy, that you can't focus and think, you can't sleep. Or you know what it's like to have irritable bowel syndrome, where you have to use the restroom 2 or 3 times an hour. And whatever the case is, you know what it's like, you live it. But the judge, you come in front of a judge, and again, I mentioned it's virtual, you may only talk to a judge on the phone, maybe you see the judge on video, maybe at some point you'll see a judge live, but I think you should assume it's going to be done on the phone. And this judge doesn't know you from Adam. And, this judge has been, I'll call it a he, it could be a she, obviously, but this judge has been hearing cases, 5 or 6 a day, probably 3 days a week, and that's what the judge does all day long. And so all the judge does is hears cases from people day in and day out. I'm disabled, judge. I need disability benefits. And the judge doesn't know, do you have a high pain threshold, a low pain threshold? He doesn't know how you live. He doesn't see, difficulty. You have to sleep on a board. You have to sleep on the floor. He doesn't really know any of that. He doesn't know, do you know anything about your compliance with treatment? Are you taking medications? Have you talked to your doctor about surgery? He doesn't know, if your doctor gives you the time of day, or you're seeing a clinic where, the doctor sees you for 5 minutes and you see a PA most of the time. And so a judge looking at your case is basically saying, okay, I'm going to look at this medical record. I'm going to try to figure out whether this person has a serious medical problem, one that potentially is disabling. I'm going to listen to this person tell me about that medical problem, and I'm going to see if I think those two line up. And I'm going to see, are there objectives or objective evidence, or is there an MRI or a CT or some sort of a test to determine, yes, this person's medical issues, what it says it is, they say it is. Because otherwise, I'm a judge, I'm cynical. I don't believe anything anybody tells me, because everybody says the same thing. I'm disabled. Do I think this person is seeking drugs? Do I think this person just doesn't want to work? Do I think this person's working on the side? I don't know what to think. You got to prove to me, Mr. Claimant, that you are in fact disabled. And that's the way judges look at it. And some of them are really nice about it, and some of them are a little more cynical and not so nice about it. But in effect, they're saying, prove to me that you are in fact disabled. So I think if you were the judge, what would you want to see? And again, some of the things you're going to want to see would be objective testing like an MRI or a CT or an ultrasound or a cardiac function test, or just any sort of a test that kind of rules out the subjective nature of medical issues. That's, by the way, why mental health cases can be hard, because there's no way to quote-unquote test for depression. You can't take an MRI of the brain and see depression. And that's why cases like fibromyalgia are so difficult, because it's really subjective based on what the doctor sees. So if you've got an objective medical issue, you want to have objective testing, and that's what the judge wants to see. Judges are going to expect you're going to be taking certain kind of medications. So if you're complaining of severe pain, the judge is going to expect that you're going to be prescribed hydrocodone or Percocet or some other heavy-duty pain medication. And if you're not, you better have a pretty good reason why. And it could be, I don't want to get addicted to it. I don't believe it's, the side effects are too bad. It makes me terribly constipated. It's not, it's not compatible with some of the other medical conditions I have. Whatever it is, you got to be able to explain it, because the judge is going to expect, if you're in pain, that you should be on pain medications. Do you have ongoing treatment? I mean, again, if you're complaining of severe pain, ongoing back issues, are you seeing a doctor? Whether it's pain management or, physical therapy or orthopedist or whatever it may be, are you seeing a doctor? Somebody who had a back surgery 4 or 5 years ago and hasn't seen a doctor since, but is saying, I'm in terrible pain. Well, why aren't you going to the doctor? Judges, even though they realize that it costs money, they expect you to go to the doctor and have ongoing treatment. So that's something you would expect if you were a judge. When you testify, you want to be really, really clear to the judge. People go in there and they say, I can't sit for any length of time. I can't sit too long. I can't lift much at all. I have a hard time walking very far. I just piddle around. I don't do nothing during the day. I just piddle around. That doesn't tell the judge anything. You got to be able to say, I can sit for 15 to 20 minutes and I got to stand up and walk around because I'm so uncomfortable. My back tightens up, my legs tighten up, my feet go numb. I've got to stand up and walk around for 7 or 8 minutes. I got to move out of one place. I can't be at the workstation. I got to move around. And by the time I loosen up, my back is starting to hurt from standing. I can sit down again. I can do that 2 or 3 times and I got to lie down. I got to lie down at least 2 or 3 times during the day for 45 minutes to take all the pressure off my back. And I spend, in fact, most of my time in a recliner because of that. I can't cook, I can't clean, I can't walk the dog, I can't do housework. Paint a picture. Paint a picture of what your life is like, but be careful not to make it seem like, I can't do anything at all. No judge is going to believe you just sit around doing nothing at all, but staring at the wall. So, tell the judge, sometimes I'll get on the computer for 15 or 20 minutes and I'll try to read the news or check Facebook, or I'll watch TV and try to keep up with a program, but I have to stop because I get really uncomfortable. And, I can make a sandwich or something in the microwave, but I can't cook a dinner. I try to go for a walk, but I can't get, more than a couple of blocks. You want to be very specific about all that stuff. That's the sort of thing that paints you as a believable, credible claimant who is trying to do everything you possibly can to get better. You're adhering to what the judge says, the doctor says. The doctor suggests some sort of a treatment, or going to a pool and walking in the pool. You've tried to do that. If the doctor says stop smoking, you've stopped smoking. The doctor says lose weight. You've tried to lose weight. Show you're being totally compliant with that. Ask former coworkers to give you statements. Something that judges find very, very persuasive is a statement from a former coworker talking about the problems you had the last few months at work, or somebody who knows you that can talk about within reason, what you do during the day. And when they come over to see you, why you seem like you're in pain, or why you seem to have trouble doing kind of any sort of basic household tasks. You're painting a picture. It's a mosaic. You're really trying to paint a picture of someone who doesn't want to be here. You don't want to be disabled. You don't want that label. You hate the idea of the label of being disabled, but you simply don't have what it takes. You can't have the capacity to work anymore. Even at something really, really simple, entry level. Just can't do it anymore. And I think if you do that, that's the perspective the judge is coming from. And so you put yourself in the judge's shoes, it's a little bit easier to see the strengths and weaknesses of your case. And of course, every case has got weaknesses and every case has some strength. But if you approach it from the idea of how is a judge going to see me? Am I going to come across as a whiner, a complainer, somebody who wants, basically a gift? Or am I going to come across as a reluctant claimant who hates the idea of being disabled? I think it's obvious which one's going to come out better. So I think that if you approach it from that perspective, it's going to go a long way to improving your chances at winning and to make the judge feel a lot more comfortable with paying your case. Please visit me online at ssdanswers.com. I've got a free course there. It's called The Secrets to Winning Social Security Disability Survival. It's a kit. Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit. Comes by email over a course of actually several weeks now. It's gotten really big. And then I've got a free case evaluation form that you can go to SSD Answers and ask for a case evaluation. Again, I represent clients in every state because the hearings are virtual, and so I'm not limited geographically. So I represent clients from California to Maine. So if I can be of assistance to you, I'd be happy to take a look at your case. If you thought this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me. Leave me a comment. Let me know thoughts about other videos you'd like to have me talk about, and like my page, like the YouTube channel, and like the Facebook page, and just reach out to us. I'm happy to hear your thoughts about anything to do with disability. This is what I do all day long, And again, I'm always learning more from my clients probably than they learn from me. So if I can be of help to you, please let me know. Again, my name is Jonathan Ginsberg, Social Security Disability Attorney. And if I can be of help to you, I would love to be able to do so. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the Survival Kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.